But we are into this fourth game, if I'm correct, if I can count.
Yes, you
Back
can
in
count.
THC.
Yeah,
And I've got to say, I love the tag of Imperative. It's Imp.
yeah, it is him.
I do like that. I do
I
like
like
that.
I like it. I like it. I mean, I don't like it quite as much as you, but I do like it. And we are going to see the Silvernail banned away again by THC. It seems to be that this is a pick they just don't want to face. They've clearly got some pictures like that Yates, which play very well if the Silvernail isn't there on the board. So they just want to take that away straight away. But Imp right back and them ban away that Yates.
Great band coming out from Imperative. Back in THC, going for the kinetic ban or hovering over it right now isn't the worst choice in the world, but I would actually go for a fin ban. The reason why is because if you go for the fin ban, you force the enemy team to ban something like Anka,
Hmm.
which is quite obvious. Whereas I don't know if Finn is the best first choice with Arden open, with Lorelei open, and with, in my opinion, other stronger pairings open. However, Balcom were in the last game. Who am I to really knock them too much? And I don't know that much about Imperative. But Balkan, they go for Lorelei first pick. I like it. Imperative going for the Churnwalker, similar to what MLG did, Pirate King. But let's see if they will learn from MLG's mistakes and build a comp around the Churnwalker.
Yeah, and the first thing I would like to see them do with this, an Arden pickup. I was going to say the Vox, but
No.
Arden's
Yeah.
still a good roamer, and he can obviously help the Churnwalker. If he does Vanguard onto the Churnwalker, which is unlikely, admittedly, but it does give him that speed up, and trapping people in a gauntlet, that does allow the Churnwalker to get some chains down.
Oh, 100%. I really like the Arden pickup, even though I said Vox would be ideal as second pick. Arden kind of really does chunk out so much in the early game as a top laner. He's able to shut them down. Now we do see Balkan THC going for the Grace Reza pickup. What I like is that Grace is going to be able to work really well with Lorelei. You're gonna have Reza gonna be going in on the front line. Fisher's gonna be going for days, and Lone Wolf, a good top laner, is on that Grace. I like it, but now supports are being picked all over the place, Pirate King, because Lance has come out, followed by Kensai.
The Kensei pickup is an interesting one. What I would have liked to see Imperative doing here is building a kite composition. I think they could have built a very effective kite composition if they picked up the Vox right then.
True, I agree, but it's
Vox
not
on
over till it's over.
could be very effective. I just
And
think the Kensei could potentially get a little isolated trying to engage when his team's trying to disengage. But let's see, as the Gwen is picked up by THC. Again, another pick they played in the previous game.
yeah, see, that's the thing. I was gonna say Varia, but realistically, you want to go for the Vox to take away the Vox from Imperative.
Yeah.
But Imperative could still go for Varia, and if Varia would, I'm not gonna say works the same as Vox, but actually works quite similar and with such strong tankiness. But they're going for the Lyra. What the hell is going on?
Well, what the hell is going on is the draft has just crashed because some silly Billy has just picked a skin. How dare you actually use the
That's
things which
such
SCMC make for you?
That's such a British thing to say, you silly Billy.
Yes, I think it is. But it's a thing which I use, and Twisted was a silly Billy by choosing a skin and actually using the things SCMC make for
Yeah, I think he dodged by accident. In fairness, I think it was a
Oh
genuine
dear.
mistake. So either way, we'll look to get into this party as quickly as possible. Get into this lobby, should I say, as quickly as possible. Get into the private heroes being picked, and just get into this game. But
I'm
this
confused.
imperative comp.
I'm confused. Imperium. Can you explain this wisdom which they have come up with, or is it not wisdom but idiocy?
No, I actually like it. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I actually really love it because Lyra is a bit of an she's very hit and miss as a mid laner, Pirate King. So you pick up, obviously alternating current as the first item. but
Mm,
you build then core CP
mm.
offense, and her Imperial Sigils really just can half health most carries. And because of the length of that, and you're able to kind of spam it out a bit more, I really like that. And now it's very much a late. In my opinion, it's about mid to late game hero. I know she has kind of strong early game, but definitely in a mid late game hero. When you take Kensai onto fold, who's very much a late game hero,
Mm.
in my opinion, Imperative need to play it safe, take it
Yeah.
easy, and once they hit some of their power spikes, then they'll be able to do a little bit of work. But it's still going to be interesting, and I can't wait.
Yeah, and for that exact reason, I'm going to be favoring Bulk and THC again in this matchup. I'm going to be favoring them to take this victory because, as we just saw from that game against MLG, they can snowball and they can snowball hard and they know how to close out a snowball, which is one of the hardest things to do. It's all very well getting the gold lead, but it's another completely different thing closing out the games. And
That's
they
so true.
managed to do that. So I think that they'll be able to snowball against these weaker picks they're up against and just dominate going on into the late game because of those early leads. But in the meanwhile, we see Arden is out damaging Reza in the early game because Arden just has that much damage. That stun.
Yeah, but reblocked is dodgy. Like that was dodgy health. I'm personally going to go for Imperative just because of the fact that Imp, I gotta love it. That's what I'm gonna support. But early game, first minute, goal difference, nothing. Just doing the rotations. However, I like what Imperative are doing, but they've got to be careful because they really have no offense in this early game. Pyro King, there's no point. Just do your weapon rotations
Mm.
and then create a consistent rotation.
Yeah, definitely. As we saw, Lorelei just single-handedly out damaging two
Yeah.
members of the team coming out from Imperative. So not exactly what you want in the early game engagements is the roamers dominating those. So and again though, it's Le Pacifisto on this Lorelei again, paired with Sapiens on the CP Vox. This is exactly the same combo they played in the mid game last game, and it put Ex Callisto under so much pressure. It's going to be down to Prolito to try and name like yeah, name sort of similarity coming out there, maybe some mid lane thing, but they're going to be under the same pressures of trying not to get pressured down by this aggressive mid lane combo coming out. Pacifisto in particular looking to do a lot of damage in the early game.
Yeah, and it's to be expected. However, Lyra can do a lot of consistent work if she's given a chance, and Charmwalker is going to be able to really hook those chains on quite nicely. So they're returning the damage just as quickly. When you look at the goal difference, though, it is 1k in the favor of Balkan THC, and that's only to begin with, and that is coming down to the CS difference right now between Lance on the jungle of Imperative, and then you look at the likes of Nessa has got a couple more. It's really playing into the hands of Balkan THC in this kind of early game, but they've got to because Imperative's comp is very much late game. But like we said, if you don't shut down the Kensei early game, you let the Kensei get to like 2-3 items,
Mm.
man, he becomes a powerhouse Pyro King.
He really does become a powerhouse. But I think the reason why this gold lead has built up, which has actually been closed down incredibly quickly, again, by the side of Imperative, which is very, very useful. So, but I think the main reason because of this is because the Kensei just has so much slower of a clear speed than heroes like the Reza. He's just so slow clearing those minions, and Lance isn't particularly rapid either, so it just means your rotation is just going to take that a little bit longer. But now we see Imperative have actually managed to swing the goal back in the other back in the other direction. That's the thing with this early game gold; it's just so variable. As we see Reza roaming a little bit deeper into the enemy jungle. He's going to be looking for a little
Oh,
bit of an engagement. That's a good impale coming out, but he's going to be turned on rather quickly here. Grace is here as well, and that's going to be first blood going on over to the side of Bulk and THC once again. They managed to do that against MLG, and let's see if they can further capitalize on it here. They're going to go for the gold oak, and it's going to have to be a great steal coming out from the Lyra. Doesn't manage to get it in the end. Good work from Bulk and THC in this early game.
see that's the issue with some players when they're like a 5-year-old with a tub of glue. They have to sniff an engagement. They have like they instantly are attracted to any kind of potential kill. But that's not the case. You have to be easy. You have to take it easy, be careful, and pick your moments to engage on the enemy team, especially when you have a late game comp. And this is what Imperative really I'm gonna say probably a million times this match. Just be passive.
Be passive, be chill. Just don't do that fighting thing. Like that's all Imperative need to do
Yeah.
at the moment. And if they get through to that late game, I think we're both in agreement. They can definitely come through on this. But it's all about getting there, and Bulk and THC are going to make it as hard as possible. Apart from Reza, who got a little bit caught out of there, but he's just going to be able to use his boots and get away. Meanwhile, this Arden doing a very good job of pressuring Endura down in this bot lane. He was on this was he on the Gwen previously, or was it Nestor?
He was on the ground.
So he's obviously, again, another person reprising his pick from the previous game. Bulk and THC clearly have this sort of core trio of strong heroes which they like to go to, and the rest of it just sort of flexes around them. As we see Reza, he's looking to pick up the CP buff, but he's about to be contested by the Kensei.
Nice.
Gets it just in time.
Yeah, so see, and I like what Imperative are doing because you have the Arden in top lane. It does really shut down quite a good bit of work that Gwen can do. Plus the fact that nicely taken by Zenora coming out from back on THC. I don't know what the minion candy was secured by, but either way, having the likes of Arden really does shut down what the likes of Gwen and Reza can do early game. So it really stops back on THC from snowballing. So it is going to give Imperative even more of a chance to get into the late game. But the most important thing is you don't feed, you don't really let yourselves get too far behind. You maintain those consistent rotations, reblocked, pulling out the gauntlet to play it safe. One time, I actually agree with that.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, it's good for him to keep him alive, and he definitely needs to stay alive as long as possible and maintain this turret as long as possible. This is definitely the longest time we've had before first turret going down this in the entire game so far. So this is definitely seeing very even, no early lead coming out, as the gold is identical right now, pretty much. Minor differences, but it's not a lot. As we see a little engagement going on up in the top lane, that's a great impale landing from Andalay, and they're trying to get the kill, and they manage to secure it onto the Grace. Very good work. They're trying to shut down Lone Wolf.
Well, Lone Wolf got far too extended. And when the fact that you look at Twisted has a Serpent's Mask first item, that's only one item, Kensai. Pirate King. Doing a lot of work with that. You have the Impale with the Guillotine Wall. Boom. Job done. And you have Tension Bow. First item coming out from this lance. I don't agree with it, but it's spicy. It's tasty. Let's see how it's going to work. Prolito.
Great work. Great work in the mid lane there from Prolito. And now this Grace is going to be engaged upon again. That's a great power jump coming out from the Kensei. She's going to manage to find the stun onto the Lance, but not onto the Kensei. Should be able to get out given that Lorelei is there. And Lyra goes down to this Reza. Reza now engaging here onto the Kensei. Lance is going rather low. He is going to be able to get out of there. And Shermwalker is here. He can share the damage between them. But Imperative going with the right option. They're going to get out of dodge. Still, with that late game composition, they're still looking to scale up. But any early damage, any early kill they can find is very, very useful.
Pirate, they're 1k gold ahead. And they're the late game comp. Balkan need to get their, with all due respect, shit together. They need to start really staying as a 5-man team, even in the early stages of the game. Normally, I say when it comes to a 10-12 minute mark, actually,
they managed to find a good bit of engage there and a good bit of damage, but then just not able to pick up the kills. And they need the kills at this point in the game. It was a Good engage, good rotation by the Reza, trying to catch out some low HP heroes, manages to take the healer away, and that could prove troublesome for the side of Imperative, as now they're able to go for a dive. Reza really going deep here, going to be able to pick up the kill onto that Lance. Gold Oak has been started up, and it is going to be contested by the Lorelei, but the Lyra is here. That's a good pick up there. Kensei manages to get that Gold Oak, but he is maybe to go down, but the portal saves him. That is just absolutely ludicrous. Then he goes down. That is the most unlucky thing I think I've ever seen.
Toxic Pirate King. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. And now this Arden's here as well. Gonna look for that return kill onto the Grace, but he isn't gonna find it. And oh my gosh, that is unlucky. Sapien is gonna be tilted off the face of the earth right now.
But
I
see,
mean, I would
like,
be.
I feel bad, man. Press F for respect. But look, Balkan are not doing themselves any favors because, as I was kind of starting to say, with their comp and the fact that Imperative is such a late game comp, they should really start to be forming together as a 5-man team, even at the 6 to 7 minute mark compared to the 10 or 12-minute mark. Because if you look at it, you know, Zenora on this Gwen really hasn't had much chance. Yes, he's got a Sour Blade, but in my opinion, he's definitely not into this game as quickly as he was the last game. And that is Balkan's own fault as a 5-man team.
And also we see Sapien taking a lot of hurt in this mid lane. As we said, like you said, that CP Lara can be a bit of hit or miss, but I think she's definitely hitting it this game. She's putting down a lot of good damage. Meanwhile, Gwen and Reza, they have managed to catch out the Arden, rotating back into lane. Not gonna... Oh, they are going to be able to pick up the kill in the end. Reza goes low, but he's not going to be taken out. Now they're putting down a lot of damage onto this turret, but yes, Prolito is here. Kensei picks up a turret up in the top lane. Prolito manages to save this turret, and that's an all-round positive trade coming out again for the late game composition. They're picking up these leads in the early game. Admittedly, the gold lead only around sort of 1k at the moment, but for a late game composition, you could extend that to maybe 2 or 3k.
Oh yeah, because now we see Twisted has got Breaking Point. That's a second damage item. You have that with Reblocked on a Serpent's Mask, most likely building into Tension Bow. I don't agree with the Lance Tension Bow first item, in my opinion. Should have gone a lot tankier. Should have actually gone for a second Crucible, in my honest opinion. But let's see how it does work in his favor. And then you have that Lyra with no defense other than a light shield, and looking to build into that second damage item. Didn't go for alternating curve first item, gone straight for the Spellfire. I like it, and has helped him secure a bit more of that early game.
It has helped him secure a bit more in the early game, but CP Vox is now looking to fight back in this mid lane. Arden's rotated in as well though, and the damage traded has been relatively even. Lance is here too, and Kensei's lurking about. Blacklaw and Ghostwing are both up on the map, and both objectives are available to be taken by whoever wins this team fight, which is breaking out. Grace has been caught out a little bit of position. Githian Wall knocks her back. Kensei's in. That's a stun trying to be found, but that's going to be Vox going down. Surely, yeah, that's Lorelei gone as well. Grace now under turret, trying to find that damage onto the Kensei. Kensei is very low, but remember, he does have a Serpent's Mask and a Breaking Point. That's a lot of damage he can sustain and find, but he's not getting out of that one. That was some good work. Gwen gets a lot of damage put out of her, but he's able to skedaddle out of that gauntlet. And in the end, it's maybe not too bad for Bulk and THC, especially if they win this secondary engagement. Good damage coming out from the Reza, but they're not able to find the kill on the Arden.
No!
How does he get out alive? No! No, Reza, go for it! No! Oh! And then Grace nearly gets ported back to the base. Now she's in a terrible situation with the Prolito back here. I just can't say his name, and that's going to be Reza. Oh no, it's all gone poorly for Bulk and THC. The timing, it's just not in their favor this game, and they're just getting further and further behind to this late game composition.
Well, to be honest, that team fight was basically sloppy by both teams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They both hung around for too long, and part of the reason why Imperative won that is just because they are ahead naturally overall in the game so far. Reza being really clutch play coming out for back in THC, so that's something that I want to keep an eye on. Has no defense other than now Light Armor, but has the Aftershock Spellfire, is going to be doing a lot of work, but they've got to make that work. As we do see up in the top lane, Twisted and Andel is doing a lot of work on the lone Wolf, trying to push that wave, and now will look to rotate with the rest of the team, but they could come into a Balkan THC sandwich, Pirate King.
They could come into a Balkan THC sandwich, especially with this Reza. Kensei not looking in a good situation, but he is able to use a couple of dashes to get away. Now the Lance is here. Great Githim Wall and another great Impale to follow up, but he's going to end up sacrificing himself, not able to pick up that kill onto the Reza there. Now Lorelei may be looking to see if they can pick up something in the jungle. Is she going to try and steal away this weapon buff? That would be incredibly aggressive. Not going to be able to do it, so it is going to be Kensei picking that one up. Arden's now rotated in here as well. It's a 4 versus 5 situation as Reza does something weird involving his teleport. But he just sort of seemed to start porting back on one side and then glitched over to the other side. But he's all out all right. He's managed to simply walk away, as has everyone else. And we're just going to go back to a nice little bit of happy clappy farming game.
Happy clappy farming indeed. But yeah, this is still quite even between the two teams. It's actually really tasty. It's really intense. Whoa! Lance take down Reza. Imperative getting another kill on the board. They are now 12-6. They are about 2k gold, 1.5 2k gold ahead. They are all up in the top area of this map by the Black Claw that is spawned on this map. 0 teams has gotten the Ghost Wing at this stage of this map. Looking at the build pass, you do see Dragon's Eye, Lyra second item. I actually don't agree with it, to be perfectly honest. But let's go with Wolf.
He could have got away. He could have got away. I swear he could have got that teleported, but now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it looks like he's gonna pick the hard place as he's gonna get taken down. Does manage to take the turret with him, so it's not all bad.
True.
It's not all terrible, but now his team is stuck in a 4 versus 5, and all 5 of Imperative are up near this Black Claw, so they could have started that up, tried to force the team fight. Instead, they move back into the mid lane, and I just want to see someone take one of these dragons, man. Like, they've been sitting there on this map for so long, they're just begging to be taken. But instead, the War Treads are out, the Gauntlet comes out, but it just gets missed. They're going to go with Impale, that goes wide as well, and that's a lot of engaged tools just used there from Imperative. And now Balkan THC, they're back up to their full complement of members, even if that full complement isn't necessarily with. As Grace is going to have to go off and defend against this Kensei pushing in. And so now we just begin to posture around the Ghost Wing, and I just feel like we're not going to have a team fight.
Okay, even though I initially disagree with that, mind you, the Lance has now got Spellfire. That basic attack damage after the counter roll onto Reza is so chunky, like a monkey in Funky Town, it's not even funny.
And what is definitely not funny is Kensei getting caught out there. He nearly managed to take down the Grace, but it was just brilliantly clutch using the turret. Reza coming in as well, and he goes down in the end. So now it's 13 kills to 7, and the gold is exactly even once again. This has got to be the most even game we have had so far today. The gold staying absolutely level pretty much throughout. Reza now chasing right into the back camps. He's looking to pick up this gold oak, but he could end up in a rather awkward position. Instead, they're doing a lot of damage to Lance, but they're not going to be able to find that kill. Now, Volk's in a little bit of an awkward situation. Going to be a lot of damage done onto him, and Lance manages to help Arden pick up that kill. Now, Grace in a bit of a tough, tricky situation as Reza has ported out. Gwen is here, and Gwen can do a lot of damage, and as you see, takes out the Lance. Great work from her. Reza's decided to cancel that teleport, comes in with the ultimate, tries to find the kill onto the Arden. Not going to be able to do so in the end, as they have to help the Gwen get away. As now Kensei is here. Kensei destroys in this late game, and he just destroys that Reza. Now, surely, Grace, you're not long for this world. That's a great stun by Lone Wolf, but you can't get out of this one. Tries to find a little bit of damage, and is time-wasting remarkably effectively, but is just not going to be able to find
Why?
way out.
Imperative, why are you chasing kills? Don't chase kills. Ignore the mid lane. Go for a Black Claw or a Ghost Wing. Do something, but don't chase a kill. It's pointless at this stage of the game. You're 8.5 minutes in. Kills only mean something if you secure an objective afterwards, Pirate King. This is what Imperative have to do. And part of the reason why this game is going on so evenly is because realistically both teams with all due respect, they're making mistakes. They're not capitalizing on each other's opportunities. And this is what makes one team better than the other, is if you catch up onto those opportunities.
What a clutch portal coming out there from Polito. That was absolute godly work. Chernwalker does still go down in the end, but it's now traded. That was amazing work from Polito there with that ultimate, just saving that arcane passage there, coming out completely clutch and actually presenting what in the end is a favorable situation. Now, Lorelei has to go back. And they're still farming the mid lane. It's happy clappy farming, but it's so painful. It's not happy for us right now. They're trying to find the kill onto this Gwen, but they're not going to be able to do it in the end. There's a good stun coming out from the Grace, and now the Arden's in a little bit of a tricky situation under the turret. Grace gets stunned up, and that's going to be finally that mid lane turret going down. Maybe we'll see them actually go for some objectives now. That would be rather nice, such as the dragons. But they're moving near the Ghost Wing, but maybe it was just to take a CP buff, or maybe it was to kill the Lorelei, as she gets absolutely annihilated by the Kensei Lance combo. Now you've got a kill. You've just taken down the mid lane turret. Are we going to see an objective? Maybe?
Oh my god, they're going in. What the hell are they doing going into the enemy jungle? Take a goddamn ghost wing, guys. You're actually triggering me at this point, Imperative. Really just play the moment to your greatest advantage. You have the gold lead, you have the objective lead, you have the itemization lead, you have that late game. Finally, a ghost wing is being captured. Goddamn 20 minutes into the game, Pyro King.
20 minutes into the game, we get our first dragon. No team has lost more than a tier 1 turret. This has got to be some of the worst objective capitalization ever. Reza tries to pick up that weapon buff, but it's not going to be good enough in the end. The gauntlet comes out, and that's a great kill going to be fine down onto the Gwen, and that's Reza going down as well. Now the Fox goes down. Finally, we're getting a goddamn team fight, and now they're by the Blackclaw. They're going to take 2 dragons in a row. Maybe this is their plan all along. They just wait until that 20-minute mark, then take both dragons, and now we're going to end the game in one push. At least that's what Imperative are going to be hoping to do.
It's a goddamn Christmas miracle, Pyro King. They've unleashed 2 dragons in the space of 2 minutes. Maybe they just finished watching the film How to Train Your Dragon. They trained their dragons, and they're now unleashing it onto the Sovereign's Rise.
They have definitely unleashed their dragons onto the Sovereign's Rise. They're still there with the Ghost Wing buff, although that will be expiring very shortly. But more to the point, they have this Blackclaw, and that is just stomping in this mid lane. Grace is off in the middle of nowhere, trying to stop a wave, pushing into a top turret. But your base is being wailed on, Grace. You need to get back there and help your team, especially against this push coming out from Imperative. They're now collapsing onto the Vayne Armory turret. Kensei's going in, and Vox gets absolutely annihilated. That's a great first kill picked up. Gwen finding a good stun, and actually the Vayne Crystal's wailing into this fight quite heavily. That was a decent stun found by it, but that's going to be the Armory going down as well, and Black still at half HP. Lorelei goes down too. Reza is going to have to pull off an absolute godly play here. Grace is doing some work and managing to find some stuns, managing to find some damage. Blackclaw's still at half HP though, and Gwen's gone down. Grace now isolated, having to use that divine intervention, but he's not going to be enough. She's surely going to go down in a second, and now it's just Reza against the world. He's got and instead he's just going to praise the kill. He just gets deleted instantly, and that is going to be Imperative taking the game after 22 minutes, shutting down Vulcan THC's King of the Hill run before it can even begin.
Man, I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen a team like create kind of not a level of control for themselves. Yeah, a level of control for themselves, but kind of tease it. Like they just tease. They tease themselves so much. It's kind of like we're ahead in this game. It's kind of like a feather onto your skin. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna tickle this game, but they just didn't take the control they needed up until around the 20-minute mark. And as much as I joke about it and kind of got a little bit triggered, I want to give credit to both teams. And Balkan THC, they definitely didn't take advantage of the early game comp that they should have. They did let Imperative get too far into it. Mistakes from Imperative did Imperative did give Balkan THC kind of too many chances, but where Imperative won overall was the team fights. When it came to them team fighting as a 5-man team, they were really effective, and that deserves a lot of credit. And it's part of the reason why they overall secured this game against Balkan THC. Really well done from them.